to work through some jealousy issues that I was experiencing in my relationships. For example, if a woman was around, I would get really nervous and self-conscious, and I was afraid that my boyfriend would be checking them out. Or, you know, if he had a woman over at his house, I would be scared. It didn't make sense to me that I was experiencing so much jealousy and that it was triggering me to just an insane level where I was panicky and I felt deep fear and I was so insecure, and it wasn't proportional to the man that I love, who has always made me feel loved and beautiful and safe and comfortable. I just knew that it was unhealthy and that my jealousy was communicating something to me that needed to be healed. My concerns before the session was that it may not be effective at all, because I've gone to so many different modalities of healing and therapy, traditional therapy and acupuncture, and I've seen psychics and healers, which have been great, but sometimes it's a lot of waste of money and time and a lot of energy spent. And so my fears were that it was just going to be, you know, maybe it wasn't going to be effective at all. During my session, I was regressed back to a memory that I had when I was 3.5 years old, where my mother was dropping my twin sister and I off at preschool for the first time. And we had been adopted just a year before, so it was really fresh for us emotionally, being left. And so she's trying to take us to drop us off at preschool, and she, you know, she kissed us goodbye, she's trying to leave, and I felt terror and I felt panic and fear in my body, and I was crying the deepest I've ever cried, you know, at that time, and I didn't want her to leave. And it was a really unsettling, traumatic experience for me, and I was afraid of being abandoned. I was afraid of my mother leaving and never coming back. And so how that helps me today and how it helps me now thinking about it is that in my relationships, my experience of jealousy isn't really, you know, jealousy. What it really is underneath is a fear of abandonment. And that my boyfriend, who, you know, if a woman is around, I'm afraid that, you know, he'll leave me for her, and I'll be abandoned. And so I understand that fear that I experienced today, and that has been pervasive in other relationships, really is just a child in me afraid of being abandoned. And so working through it, through the completion process, I was able to connect deeply with my inner child, who was just scared of being abandoned, and able to tell my child that my childhood self, that it's, you know, that she's safe and that I'll always look after her, and that she has no reason to be scared because I'm here to parent her and to look after her. Meeting Orly was really special for me because she created a space of understanding and acceptance, and I felt that I could, you know, really go into a deep emotional space, you know, where I'm a child and I'm crying and I'm feeling the deepest fear I've ever felt at the age of 3.5, and that can be hard. And so feeling safe was important and is important to me, and it's special to me, and she's especially special to me because I've seen so many therapists and people who have doctorate degrees or whatever, and it doesn't mean anything if you're not a good person and you can't connect to someone on a personal level and make them feel safe. And so I was blown away that I was able to come across someone who can connect with me so easily, with an amazing sense of humor and a well of knowledge, to give me enough information about the process, to give me enough insight about the process, and not only to just tell me about it, but to take what I have experienced and make it relevant to my healing, and make me see things in a way that I hadn't before, and in such a short period of time, and with such efficiency and clarity too, which is so important. And I'm really blown away by her sincerity and her knowledge, and how much of a difference it made in such a short period of time.